All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Extremity issue number 4 from Skybound Image. And yeah, we're going to dive right in because I have something to talk about. All right, so I have a little bit trouble to connect with this book, to be honest. And not that it's it's a bad book or per se, but somehow it doesn't grips me, the story. Although it has the ingredients that should grip me, but it has an emotional story, like this father. He lost his wife and left behind a daughter, Thea, and a son called Rollo, right? And Thea says, well, she is just reminiscing about the loss of her mother. And basically she says, hey, we're going to do this every year. And she says, Dad, when will it stop hurting? And he says, never, right? And he explains to her that basically that if you walk through the arches, they embrace all the memories of her mother and the spirit, etc. And so they're doing this, ritual or something. And the father says, we're going to use the pain and we're going to make her feel what we feel now. And her is probably the person that, puts this all in motion. And he says, we're going to kill them all. So after this book, after I read this book, I thought, okay, extremity is not just a word. People go to the extremes. I'll show you a little bit here. So we go to the other side, and I believe this is all about race, not about skin color, but, they have this different birthmarks. This is this green circle, why they have this brown, well, it's not really a square, but I don't know how you say it in English. And I believe this is the maybe the queen. I'm not entirely sure. This is daughter that she's been disfigured, probably by these people. I'm guessing, right? And she says, "Hey, what's going on?" And the mother says, "A teaching of moments of sorts. This is what happens when you let animals roam free, my daughter," she says. And then we see head-on pikes. So yeah, the violence is not one-sided. So that makes you questioning about the motives of the other race, if they are as innocent as this book in beginning, portray them, right? And so yeah, this is all about payback and revenge, and that's also the theme here. Now we go to this floating island, and this guy has this insect that he's raised from when he was small. Then his wife comes and he says, hey, what's going on? It's them. Finally? Yeah, get in the house. Can we fight him? No, there's too many. You can escape. Take the airship. I am the wife of Doc Becknar. I do not hide. I'll here with you. So I thought, wait a minute. This is the good guys, right? So-called. So the father comes out and says, hey, I'm going to do this by myself. So he has a score to settle with Dag. Dag, Jerome, I wonder when I see you again. Spare me, where are your beasts? No tricks, just me. Good, this way will be more satisfying. Jerome, for what it's worth, I'm sorry. It's worth nothing. So he's the one that killed his wife, probably. So this is all about revenge, right? So they're having a fist fight. Now, I like this because, like I said, there are somewhat honorable people, I guess. Depends how you view it. So no weapons, just fist fights, and it looks great. I like the sound effects. It's just vicious, blood spatters everywhere. By the way, if you do this, if you fall on the ground like this, it just your lungs will push out the air, and you will be very vulnerable for a couple of seconds. So he wants to finish him, but then the wife comes with beasts. And I said, okay, they train spiders now. And the spider just slaps this Jerome away. And he says, he's a changed man, she says. The person who killed your wife, who made terrible weapons, he's gone now. Leave us be. But then the robot comes in and kills the spider. And then Thea comes in to, battle the wife, I guess. Now, here it goes a little bit wrong. That questions the morality of these group of people, this race, if you will. So, because Jerome and Dag are just fighting, bare fist, like honorable men. And then they have, sword fights, I guess, like honorable woman. But then the robot comes in and basically, well, overpowers them. And she says, a Shilla. He says, you know who I am or what I am? Shilla, why do you hesitate? And she says, we never thought we see one of you. And then she's been, I don't know, socked in the face or in the back. And then, your skills are impressive, Shilla, but your fortitude is weak. Basically, you should have killed her, according to Jerome, right? And he says, are those Eldermore gauntlets, one of the Paznina's most powerful weapons? So the Paznina is believing the enemy, right, with the circle. You knew we were coming. Why did you stay? She looks at him, take off the gauntlets and bring her inside. And then she asks Jerome, what's in the taste of blood that soothes you? And he doesn't answer. He says, you should have left. Does that mean they're going to kill her? We're not going to see it. So they are looking through the house and they are discovering a secret room. And Rollo here, who's the son of Jerome, discovers some kind of a machinery. And it's some amplifier set to a specific wavelength, almost like it's meant to call something out. Rollo says, a beacon. What? To call the beasts of the deep, all of them. This is a weapon for destroying worlds. But, this guy says, well, it doesn't have any power, so we need batteries for that. And then Rollo says, Dad. Dad storms out. And Rollo says, no, don't do it. There's only one thing I want, Rollo. The Paznina gone from this world. So tell me, how is it possible with an indestructible warrior that won't kill his enemies? He's talking about the robot. No, I'll take my chances with the beast below. Something that might actually work. So Rollo goes to this robot and he says, Shilla, we have to leave right now. This is going a little bit strange here. So I'm explaining. So he says, hey, my daddy wants your battery, right? So we need to get out of here. So they want to escape. And but then, well, he's been found out by Dad. So Jerome says, you choose a piece of metal over your own family. You know, son of mine. Now, then he pulls a knife on his father. Now, this was questioning me, the writer, because, yeah, Rollo might not be, how do you say, a favorite son, because he doesn't, rise to the occasion like Thea does, the daughter. But still, there is no animosity as far as I know. It's not being portrayed as they are bickering or hate each other, and he says, well, I'm if you want to get him, you have to go right through me. That totally makes no sense, right? So that's really out of character from, the only 4 issues that I've seen. Like I said, there is no aggression between father and son. But then the robot says, who acts very human, he says, hold on, Rollo. Don't you see all this hatred, anger, fear? It keeps cycling over and over. A machine that never stops until something interrupts the cog. So basically, he's sacrificing himself, if you can call it that. He's a robot, right? He has some, some organic stuff in him, but it's still robot. So he falls down, and then Rollo really acts more strange because he says, "You all I have left now." Really? You know this robot for, I don't know, 2 days? Really? And then he says, "Hey, I don't have a family anymore, and you choose your own path." And I want no part of it. I mean, if you are against slaughtering other peoples, against war and fighting and devastation and all this stuff, I can see that, But you leaving your own family, your sister and your dad, because I don't know, you like this robot in what kind of way? Not sure, but it's not. I'm not implying something, but still, that's really strange, right? If there is constantly fighting and bickering and you being, I don't know, cast aside by your father and your father says, hey, you do not belong here, you need to go. Sure, I can see that you want to, carve your own path. Still, this is very out of character and that basically, well, leads to the next issue. So, and that, comes to the conclusion again that I still don't know where this book is going. I mean, like I said, it has the ingredients for maybe a cool revenge story, But we see now also other sides of the coin, right? That maybe this race of people that wants to have revenge are not as innocent as they appear, I guess. But there is something in here. I mean, they drip feed you a little bit of a story, but for me, that's not enough. Because if there was a monthly comic, there was a monthly comic, by the way, and I have to wait to the next one, and it still gives me this little bit grain of story, is it enough to keep me going? I'm not entirely sure. So I maybe, do a couple of issues here and there. And if it doesn't really improve for my taste, I'm probably going to stop it. We're going to see. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think about it. Am I wrong? Do you see potential in here? We'll see. Thank you so much for watching as always. I see you next time. Bye-bye.